slept into about 6:30 a.m. and the sun is already warm, so I'm gonna pack up camp and get on the road again and head to Mildura, which is only about an hour or two away. Then I'll make a plan from there. I headed southwest along the main access road into Mungo National Park, which was in a lot better condition than the road I'd come in on from the east, as this dirt road had less deep sand and no washed out sections. So the speed was up as I headed towards Mildura. As you approach Mildura, you first come across the mighty Murray River, which was trying its best to burst its banks due to all the rain this year from such a large catchment area feeding into it from 3 states. As I got to the end of the bridge, I entered the state of Victoria. The first thing I needed to do was sort out this chain again, so I found the nearest car wash. After riding through pouring rain, then dusty roads, the chain was getting stiff in sections. So first, I degreased it, and then washed off all the muck I could. Then I oiled up the chain, and that seemed to do the trick. The chain felt normal again. While I was there, I fueled up and checked over the bike. I seem to have lost one screw from riding over the corrugated dirt road this morning, but the rest of the screws were tight and the screen wasn't going anywhere, so I'll sort that out at a later date. Now that the bike was sorted out and fueled up, it was time for me to get some fuel. So just got food for the next couple of days. Favourite. With the bike and I now sorted, I headed south. I then came across vineyard after vineyard. I didn't know the Mildura area was a wine growing area. Well, I guess you learn something new every day. Fun ride coming out of Mungo National Park this morning on the road, but I started to feel the chain getting a little chunky, we'll say, and yeah, it's quite dry, so had to sort that out. Then I got fueled up and the bike fueled up, and now we're heading, I think, to Murray. I think it's called Murray Sunset National Park. There are some pink lakes there, probably not pink because I think I'm in the wrong time of year, but we'll have a look anyway. You come through these little country towns and you do see some interesting stuff. This thing is called Big Lizzie, and the wheel setup on this is quite amazing. It's from 1915, I think, or 17, a long time ago. And it was to get, I guess, the pioneers getting through this area, carting hay and wool and things like that, and actually having steam farming equipment on top of it. Quite amazing for that far back, and just the ingenuity of these wheels. I gather it's because the traction out here, you just wouldn't have known if it rained. So yeah, the big slabs that go, obviously the thing doesn't go that fast, but I think it was more about getting there than the speed it was going. And it's huge. In the photos on the display, I spotted 2 motorbikes, and the photo was from 1917. I wonder what type they were. It looked pretty cool, whatever it was. I headed towards Murray Sunset National Park. I had planned to go the normal way into the park from the south, but there seemed to be a dirt track allowing access from the east, and as I love a dirt track, I decided to try my luck and take the dirt road less travelled. getting into the Murray Sunset National Park, there's all these lakes. Well, I guess they're more water catchments, as they wouldn't be lakes all year round, and right now this one's got a little bit left before it totally dries out. Pretty chilled spot. I gather it doesn't get many visitors at all, like none, but looks cool. I pulled over to take a closer look at what the dried lake bed was made up of. As expected, salt crystals. These ones were still wet, as I gather the lake had water in it recently. I'm not quite sure I've made it into the national park yet, as I've never seen grazing sheep in a national park. I then saw to my left a sand dune, which was a little concerning. I hope the track didn't turn into deep sand ahead, as I'm not sure how this bike would ride with all this gear on it. And then to the left appeared what I'd been looking for. So I was told, apparently March is the best time of year to see these lakes pink. Normally they're white. I beg to differ. I mean, this isn't one of the lakes that is to the normal entry down the bottom of the park, where I gather it's easy access, so that's where most people end up. I came through the northeast side, so maybe just going the alternative route has got me a look at a pink lake. Now to get some photos. The lake gets its pink colour from a halophilic microorganism, a bacteria that produces a pink pigment. The colour can change due to water flow, the amount of salt, the amount of bacteria, basically nature just doing its thing. And apparently it is safe to swim in. I came across a gate, and the golden rule of gates on a farm or in the outback, leave them how you found them. Well, now I was actually in the national park. The gate must be the boundary. Then what I was concerned about appeared. The road turned to sand, and of course I was looking around, not concentrating, and the inevitable happened. But here's a major bonus of not having a large adventure bike when riding on your own. You can pick it up even with your gear still on the bike. No calling a friend needed. Here's where expert riders will tell you, when in sand, speed is your friend, and go faster. I have ridden sand on a dirt bike and can survive, but with gear on the back of the bike and a backpack on my back, and weight distribution not ideal as a light dirt bike, I felt like a novice, and decided today wasn't the time to learn how to ride this bike through the sand at speed. With plenty of time to get to the campsite and riding by myself, I decided to take the slow option and cruise through, paddling with my feet if I had to. My couple of hour ride time was taking a hit and the sun was beating down, so I took a break as the temperature gauge on the bike was reading 42 degrees Celsius. It was slow going for the next hour or so. Then a bit of a reprieve with some sections of the trail going back to dirt. But then I'd come across more deeper sand sections, so I just had to slow down again. I was using Google Maps to navigate. To get it to navigate through the national park, I needed to give it a waypoint, as without it, it would take me the long way round, heading up from the south. It said the total trip would be a couple of hours. But unbeknownst to me, once you start navigating, the total time display is to the first waypoint, not to the final destination. So, as I thought I was about to get to the campsite, I realised my error, and that I was only 2/3 the way through. It was heading towards 6 o'clock. But with a few hours of sunlight left, as long as the track wasn't sandy, I'd be fine. Having a ball of fun. I've just stopped because it's still 41 degrees and it's 6:30, I think. Yeah, something like that. I may a bit worried about light now, but we'll think I might be able to get out. There's a bit more of this section of this really sandy stuff that and then there's a easy exit on the left. I've just gone to that other mapping system I've got, which is a nightmare to use, but just to look at it gives you more information. So yeah, we'll give the bike a rest because I think it's getting really hot. 41 degrees and going that slow through sand. So yeah, on and upwards. Oh, to be on a dirt bike right now with no extra gear on it. I checked up further and the sand gets even deeper, and the warning engine light came on the bike, so decision's been made. Going back the way I came. Just can't risk the engine blowing up out here. So what I did was ferry back my bags separately just to get some weight off it, and then ride the bike back through the sandy bit. Flies. Ride the bike back through the sandy bit. So the other issue I had I was trying to see if there's another way out, but my HEMA maps that I purchased a subscription to work offline was working and then stopped working, and it says it's can't get offline maps. Make of that what you will. So engine light thankfully has gone back off, so I should be right to get out of here. I've got 4 litres of water left. It has cooled down. I'm going to be going very slow until I feel tired or I don't feel safe. So here we go. It's going to be a long night or camping somewhere and an early morning. By my rough calculations, it was going to take me close to 5 hours to get out of here back onto the main road. Camping was the other option, but it was going to be hotter tomorrow, and 5 hours would have me probably still riding at 11 AM. With the bike being air-cooled and going this slow, I could have overheating issues. I had laid the bike down once again and landed on a bush with prickles in it that went all up my back. As it was now pitch black, there was no chance of me getting them out, so onwards I went, feeling them dig into me the whole way. The deeper sand wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. Keeping it slow and it not being as hot this time through definitely helped. I finally made it to the gate where I'd entered the national park earlier today. From memory, the sand wasn't as bad from here, but I still had the issue of animals on the road. And on we go. Oh, the cramp. After being on the bike for around 16 hours today, my body was starting to ache. Oh damn, I'm exhausted. My hip flexors are killing me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk tomorrow. Just having my feet out and having to paddle. Back of my neck, oh, everything. But made it back in one piece, went really slowly. That was eventful. I don't know what else to say. This is the first place I came across. It's like an abandoned gas station. Well, half of it's there. But they do allow camping. I went on Wiki Camp going, I'm going to have to find somewhere. And no, they have camping here. Free camping just in the dark over there. I'm that stuffed doll just laid out and I don't care. just got to set up a tent. But anyway, these things happen. It's actually fun riding in the dark. Well, besides the sand bit. That just still put this on the list of things not to do. Ride in sand until you're competent at it. I didn't know there was going to be sand, I must say. Okay, I'm going to go set up a tent and pass out.